Day 35, 18,399 verses to go. This guy Nehemiah hears that some of the Israelites have returned to Jerusalem to rebuild, and he reminds God of a promise that he made to his people in Deuteronomy chapter 4. He weeps about the state of Jerusalem, which is kind of dangerous when you're serving the king because you weren't allowed to be sad in his presence. Unbelievably, he gets permission from the king to go and help with the building project, and all the king wants to know is when he's going to be back. That's kind of nice. He must have been really good at bearing cups. They start the work, and these two guys called Sanballat and Tobiah come and say, "What, are you trying to rebel against the king?" Nehemiah just tells them to jog on, and they keep going. They start with like a zillion different gates, and then they build the walls up from there because it'd be pretty embarrassing if they couldn't get into their own city. Then Sanballat and Tobiah are back, and they're like, "Oh, you never build your stupid wall. A fox could knock it over." When their mockery doesn't make any difference, they try and arrange with the Ammonites to go and attack them, and so Nehemiah tells everybody to build with one hand and hold a sword in the other. Hi-ho, it's off to work with... Nehemiah then finds out that Israelites are oppressing each other by charging huge taxes, and some of them have to sell their homes, their fields, even their own children to survive. And Nehemiah's like, "I'm not having that! Give it all back, you bunch of scallywags!" At the same time, Nehemiah doesn't accept any of the food that would be rightfully his as the governor, and instead, he invites 150 people to regularly come and eat at his own table. Tobiah and Sanballat have another crack at him, and this time they accuse him of planning an uprising. Nehemiah refuses to pay any attention, and the walls of Jerusalem get completely restored. After the wall is completely rebuilt, a load of captives come back from Babylon, and this is the moment where Nehemiah crosses paths with Ezra from yesterday. Ezra reads the law that we looked at on day 6 to 15, and when the people see how far away they've strayed from it, they all begin to cry. But then they all make themselves feel better by living in booths for a week. They all confess their sin and promise to obey the law, and if you want a recap of the last 35 days, you'll find it in chapter 9. Mahalalel's back in chapter 11. Nehemiah comes back from being away in chapter 13 and has to do a load of butt kicking, including telling Tobiah that he does not have any squatters' rights in the temple. Tune in tomorrow to see the Jews narrowly avoiding annihilation.